Hello everybody, welcome to another show. It's May the 1st, 2012, and I have Adrian Espinoza with me. I'm James Rink. And Adrian has revealed to me a series of attacks against him in the past few days. The first one being raped by a woman in a military uniform. So I'm assuming this is involved in milabs. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you also said that on the same day your brother committed suicide?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess the question is, where should we start? How about we just go back a little bit, a couple weeks ago. You told me that, first of all, Adrian is on SSI, Social Security, due to some cognitive problems when he was younger. But they do check up on him every now and then. And one of these people contacted you about, well, why don't you explain what happened?
Well, James, they contacted me about some disability causes that they said they had some kind of drug that would help me, a pill, which they have been trying to harass me to take for quite some time after I got the call from this woman saying that I gave this woman HIV, which I never did, and she told me to come in and take a pill.
Okay, first of all, you should go ahead. Did you actually have sexual relationships with this woman?
I never did, no.
Do you even know who she is? This alleged woman?
This started out when I first met David. After I met David, there was an instance where they started taking pictures of me, and they gave me a call from this woman saying that I should come in and take this pill for the HIV virus, which I never had sex with this woman or sexual relationships with this woman, or who this girl was, I don't know. And then it came to pass where I finally met this woman that was sent here from a friend, which I don't know why. I think there was a relation to that where she gave me this pill and I took it and I became paralyzed from the top, from the bottom, where I felt like my mind was open. It was like cracked open where I had to give out this information. Where they kept asking me questions.
Okay, Adrian. All right, so basically what happened is that Social Services, I'm assuming that's who it was, accused you of having sex with this woman, and they wanted you to come in and get tested, or is that right? They wanted you to be tested?
Yeah.
All right, and so they're going to give you some kind of pill, but the thing is, when you actually when you asked them to send them written documentation in the mail to you, they refused to do it.
Correct. Yes.
And of course, the reason why is because they didn't want to have any evidence, a paper trail. Because what they were doing, they were obviously they were manufacturing this evidence just to try to get you in.
And I think it's all linked in together.
Okay. All right, so I guess, but you didn't take that pill, which is good. So fast forward, and you having first.
At that time frame, no, I didn't.
Okay, but you have taken those pills now.
I have taken the pill, and that was the time when I was raped.
Okay, so all right, so now we need to go forward here. So you is that? How many times did you take that pill, and when did you start taking it?
I've only took it once, and this was the last time when they told me to come in and take it for the HIV virus, which they claimed that I had, which I never had, because from my files, from my records, I didn't have no sexual intercourse with no woman. But at that time frame, when I was raped, I did take the pill, and somehow it did steal my sexual energies.
Okay.
Which I think that's what their goal was.
All right, so you go in and you take this pill, which I told you not to take. Why did you decide to take it?
I felt like my mind was being manipulated, James. I felt like I was being controlled.
Okay.
And I don't know if this was through remote viewing.
You mean remote influencing?
Yeah, some kind of means of remote viewing or something.
Okay.
I kind of felt like compelled to do it, like I felt the will to do it for some reason.
Okay. All right. So, okay, you take the pill, and did you black out or anything like that?
It was like blacking out, you know. It was like time standing still. It's kind of like when you know that you look at your clock and you think, oh, it's 12 o'clock, and then time just zoom right by, and you don't even know that a half an hour has already passed or an hour has already passed. You know, you.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Your mind just open.
All right. Well, so at that point, what do you remember next? After, I mean, obviously you said you were raped by this woman. Do you remember anything in between that?
The only thing I remember is them asking me questions about you and about your neo cubes.
Why? How do they know about me?
I think this was back in the time when you were a super soldier.
I know, but how do they know about me? I've never contacted any of those people, unless you told them about me.
I think that they have programmed information, James. I think it goes back to when you were a super soldier and they remember everything.
Okay, but the question is, how did, because you live in Utah and I'm in North Carolina, how did the Utah Social Service Department know about me, and why would they question you about me?
So that's the thing I don't know. I don't know how they get information.
Are you sure these were social services, or you think this could, I mean, were they somebody posing as them?
It was something that was from the black government. It was something that was that they knew about you or something.
Okay, and do you remember what kind of questions they asked you about me?
The only thing I remember is them just asking about how you made the neocubes, what are they used for, how are they used, you know, and then they started asking questions about if you remember anything back when you were in the Black Ops operation.
Really? They asked about me being in the Black Ops?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what else did they ask you?
Well, you gotta remember, I was in the lab. I mean, in my mind, I was in the lab, but my room, I was actually in my room, but at the same time, everything looked like it was in the lab.
Okay, so maybe, were you maybe you were given like a cover memory or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like hallucinogenic, you know.
Okay.
You think you're one place, but you're in another.
Okay, so yeah, well, okay, so you were actually in this lab, but they, maybe after they were done the interrogation, they implanted false memories of you thinking that you were back at your home, but in fact that you were actually in the lab the whole time.
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right, so they're asking you all these questions. Well, what did you tell them about me? Did you give them the info?
The only information I gave you is I told them I didn't know much about the Black Op operation, about what they were doing, and that you were experimenting with the neocubes on how to help mankind and let mankind know with what you are doing. And they were questioning me, and there were some things I could reject, and there were some things I couldn't reject. So, and then they would blank my mind.
And how did they blank your mind?
I don't know if it was from the side effects of the pill or if they would give me a shot.
Okay.
I did feel a pain in my neck. There was something in my neck that I felt in my throat area.
Okay. Now, going down a little bit further down, do you happen to know why they were questioning you about me? I mean, why did they want to know about me being involved in the Black Ops?
One of the reasons why they wanted you, because you had a lot of personal information that they needed back when you were back in the Black Ops operation.
Well, if, go ahead.
And I think that personal information has to do with their half-breeds, you know, with their experiments and a lot of information that they've missed or that have been taken from them.
But my question to you, Adrian, is why did they interrogate you about me? Why didn't they just interrogate me?
The reason why they interrogated me was to get closer to you, to get the information. They're going through me because they know I've contacted Nathan through telepathy. Okay.
Well, how about we explain to the audience a little about who Nathan is, because some people, this may be the first video they've ever seen that I've made.
Okay.
Well, let me do the brief rundown. Nathan and I were close friends back in 2004. We communicated primarily solely over the internet, through instant messaging mostly, and also through chat rooms. But Nathan, I was just joking one day that Nathan was very gifted psychically, and I was joking that his gifts were perhaps they were due to some kind of government secret project. And as soon as I said that, his memories got triggered, and he started having flashbacks of memories being taken to underground bases and having procedures done to him. And then basically his alters started coming out, MPD-DID, which is multiple personality disorder, DID, dissociative identity disorder. He had alters that were split due to trauma. He was basically being used as a super soldier milab. And I did some work with him to basically go rogue. He attacked his handlers, and then the last thing I ever heard from him was March 2005, and he went missing. At that point, I started getting needle marks on a daily basis. I've been told that Nathan is now on the moon. He's actually in a prison facility on the moon, and they replaced him out with a clone. Now the reason why, can you add any maybe your idea why you think they were interested in the information about Nathan?
Well, Nathan was a very high class. Very high class, and when it comes to the Black Ops operation, Nathan knew a lot of things about the operation and how they can conduct psychic experiments and more half-breeds, and and a lot of things that Nathan did was a lot of confidential things that. A lot of information that they didn't have.
Okay.
So they were trying to contact, not only that, but they're trying to also find Nathan to imprison him again, to do more brainwashing, and somehow Nathan has escaped them.
Okay. So did he escape from this moon base, the prison?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And so Nathan and you, well, first of all, you're very gifted psychically. I just want to mention that. And you have somehow been able to tune in to Nathan telepathically, and that's the reason why they've been targeting you. At least one reason. And the other reason, I guess, it seems like they want to try to brainwash you to be able to influence me as perhaps like a handler. Do you think they were trying to set you up as a handler in my life?
Yes.
And how would that work? I mean, what role would you have if that programming actually was successful? How would you have been able?
Well, first, James, first they wanted me to use my hypnosis skills to manipulate you.
Okay.
And to get as much information as I can, as much information as I can from you about Nathan. Especially as much information they were trying to do when they were drugging me.
Okay. Now you said that that you had a file on your computer that had information about Nathan?
Yes.
Are you at liberty to tell the audience what was in that file? Because you said, well, first of all, can you mention what happened to it?
Well, it's very interesting because as I was in that trance state, when I was drugged or whatever, I noticed I looked on my laptop that I looked on into the files, and they were all missing. which is very uncommon for my computer because normally I store all my files in my computer, and any information I have about Nathan and you and our experiences, it just completely just disappeared the next day.
Okay, and do you have anything in backup?
No, I don't.
All right, so is there a way, do you think we can maybe recover that information?
There's no way to recover it, but I can honestly say whatever information that was on that, and when I used to be in my trance state, when we used to talk, and I used to talk directly to Nathan through my telepathy abilities, it's just completely all gone now.
Okay.
So,
well,
I don't know.
Would you be willing to contact Nathan right now and give a message to the audience? If that's something that you're open to doing?
It really depends on Nathan.
Okay.
Right now, he's not really sure because of the effects on how open I was.
Okay.
Especially as open as I am now.
You mean how that they're still monitoring you and they can infiltrate you?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because of the effects from that.
All right. Okay, well, but the drugs have worn off now, right?
He told me it was still in my system.
Oh, I see.
And the chips and everything.
All right. Well, but we did try to deactivate that.
Right.
Were we successful?
It was successful, but they're coming up with different chords.
Chords? You mean psychic chords?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I just want to mention to the audience, for those people who are not sure what we're talking about, the day that this happened, Adrian asked me to put him under hypnosis to figure out what happened with his missing time. Because basically what happened, he told me that the last thing he remembered, his roommate came in, and he was being raped by someone. And what was she wearing?
She was wearing army pants, like plaid army black pants.
Okay.
And an army shirt.
Did you see any insignia?
I might have. I don't remember.
Well, under hypnosis, you mentioned the triangle with the cross.
Oh yes, yeah.
Was that on her at that particular memory?
She told me she had a tattoo, and she showed it to me on her breast area.
Now, I want to mention to the audience that symbol is actually the symbol for Dulce base, and Dulce base is basically that's what we call Grand Central for my labs. It's under the Archuleta Mesa. I believe it's in Dulce, New Mexico. There's a facility there. It's basically a city, and the upper layers is controlled by the government, but the lower layers are controlled by the Greys. And these Greys have been working with the government to create a re-engineer. Basically what they're trying to do is to create... See, the Greys are a slave race. They work for the reptilians, but they don't want... Well, the military wants to do the same thing, just like the aliens use the Greys to do their dirty deeds. The military wants to create a slave race to do their dirty deeds, and that's where super soldiers come into play. So in Dulce Base, they are using hybridization, a different alien species. They're adding actually gray DNA with human to try to make us into robots, slaves, just like the Greys are. But it's not working because we have souls, and they can't control us for that reason. But that's a different story, so I don't want to go down that road too much. So this woman, she's raping you, and you said, okay, why don't you tell me what you remember when your roommate came in? What did he say?
Well, it's interesting. When the guy came in, when he knocked, he was wondering, he kind of had a sixth sense of something was going on, and he came in and he saw the activity of what was going on, and he just turned his head and he left. Now, I don't know if he was remotely reviewed or remotely controlled. He might have been to turn his head and leave, and like nothing ever happened.
Okay.
I was being controlled.
He might have been, but I'm surprised they didn't clear his memories, wipe his memories.
I'm sure they did.
Well, does he remember it now?
He said that he doesn't remember a lot of the events of what happened that night.
Okay. Well, what you find out what happened is that over the next couple of days, he'll continue to lose more and more memory unless you put him under hypnosis and do what I did to you. Under hypnosis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that I'm going to play that recording in just a bit. Basically, I put Adrian under hypnosis, and I helped him neutralize the effect of the drugs, because you need to go back to the time during the trauma when the drugs were in full effect and reverse it in that kind of altered, zombified state to clear it all out of your aura. Otherwise, that's where you get the trauma, the amnesia walls kick in. So, and you also said that there was someone else in the room too.
Yeah, there was some other guy that was in the room too.
Do you remember what he looked like?
Well, if I remember correctly, I told you he looked like Will.
Okay, but was he wearing any kind of military uniform?
He was.
Okay, and what do you think his association with this other woman?
I'm getting that was her commander.
Okay. I have a feeling that this man is also a reptilian. Shapeshifter.
Okay.
I don't know. I just get that feeling. So, and he's probably Air Force. I'm just guessing.
He probably was.
Almost all my labs are used primarily for the Air Force, but that's a different story, so we're not going down that road. But you said the next day, people with government badges did they come to your door?
Yes, they did.
All right, and what did they say? What did they tell you?
They said that they were looking for somebody.
At your apartment?
Yes.
And what did you tell them?
I told them that I wasn't sure what they were looking for. I told them that if there's any information that you have, it could be related to what happened, what was going on.
Okay. And who do you feel these people were?
I think they were government agents.
Okay, so let's just try to make a possible scenario. Perhaps this was maybe, let's say NSA or CIA or something like that, and they were investigating what this secret MyLab group has been doing.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that the more I make contact with Nathan, the more that they really want to know. You know what I mean? They really want to know what's going on.
Okay, so do you feel that these were people that are helping us in some way?
I do.
Okay, well, and I like to mention that to the audience is that not everybody in the government is this diabolical. Okay, there are those individuals. I have been told by people high up, and I'm not going to give any names, but the videos that I produce are being investigated. So we are making some progress. Of course, I know there's a lot of people who are skeptical, but that's okay. This message isn't for you. This is for people like us who have been traumatized. And that's one of the things like to mention is maybe why they chose sex to traumatize you. Would you like to comment about that? Any ideas of why they were doing that?
I think it has something to do with the DNA.
Okay. Well, I know, especially when you have sexual, like an orgasm that raises your consciousness up to like the fifth dimension for just momentarily, where that's why you feel so much bliss. So maybe what they're trying to do is to, and you also increase your psychic abilities, but you also, maybe it's like one of those things in the Montauk Project where you go into hyperspace for momentarily and like all time stops, and you can be highly programmed.
Okay.
And I know a lot of black magic involves sexual rituals. So, and of course
that's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Okay, so, and these people, I'm sure these people have studied it. If they're reptilian, they're probably Dracos. I've been told that basically the head of this Monarch project is a Draco. But I'm going to talk about this another time. All right.
They know, James, that I'm a very sexual person, so they're going to steal those sexual energies to use.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. In most I should say almost all my, I say not all my labs have been subjected to extreme sexual programming and rituals, usually involving not only orgies, but it could be even sodomy and all these kind of really bizarre and sickening sexual practices. And a lot of them it's actually done in an alter state, so that otherwise you would end up going insane if you remembered some of these things that we're subjected to. Well, Adrian, do you feel like you were programmed as a child for these projects?
I do.
Okay. And just briefly, don't tell me the full number, but can you tell me the first number of your social? What number it starts with?
528.
No. Only the first number. Okay, 5. Let me look that up. 5 are the techies. Okay. 0 is tied to paperclip. If your first number is 0, 1 to 2 is scientist, and that's me. 4, 8, and 6 are soldiers, primary super soldiers. 5 are techies. So I guess I'm assuming that's probably what you're being used for, is for your technological knowledge, like a scientist. Is that?
And it's interesting you'd say that, because every technology I ever had was technical technologies.
Okay. All right. So, Adrian, I'm going to go ahead and actually what I like to do is, do you have your NeoCube with you?
I do. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's do a quick meditation, you and I, together.
Okay.
For those people who have no clue what we're talking about the NeoCube, just visit our website, www.neologicaltech.com. It's just it brings more chi energy into your body so you can manifest things using the law of attraction. And it also strips out milab programming, which is why the government is not so, well, I should say the government, the dark cabal is not so thrilled that this technology is lingering out in the public sector. But that's okay, because obviously they're not going to be around for much longer anyway. So let's go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm going to do the activation sequence here. Device activate increase. And at this point, you just wait till you feel the chi energy in your hands. Device, we trust you completely. Stargate, we trust you completely. Now see yourself going down a tunnel of white light. Device activate Stargate mode, and that activates you to the 5th dimension, to God, and automatic mode. Device, we ask you to bring an end to my labs. Device, we ask you to alter the timeline, bringing the basically the people down in Dulce base, those who are the dark cabal, to justice. We ask that the white hats, whoever you may are, I'm sure you have to keep your secrecy so you don't get whacked, but we ask that you would, the timeline will be altered in such a way that you'll be able to shut down this facility, and that we could bring an end to my labs in general. And of course, one of the reasons why they made us is to fight the so-called reptilian invasion, but that's what's supposed to happen during the days of darkness. So, device, we ask that this reptilian invasion will not occur. And this happens during right around, I believe, either August or December 2012. As we go into the photon belt, all electricity will stop for 3 days. And the reptilians are supposed to invade at that point, and that's why they made super soldiers to defend. But it's not going to work that way, because anybody who is not of the white light, who is of a negative vibration, is going to be consumed by these reptilians. So we're going to ascend, but they're going to be left behind. So, but we ask that the universe will manifest a peaceful transition, and that we'll be set free from mind control programming, and that all this darkness and evil will come to end. And device in session. Okay. All right. Thank you, Adrian. Oh, great. Well, we lost Adrian again. Let's see if I can get him back. And this happens quite often when I talk about this kind of topic. Okay. Well, he's not answering his phone. I guess, so I'm going to go ahead and play the audio. I'm going to quickly bring you back down, so go ahead and lay down. 10, 9, 8, more and more relaxed. Go back to that elevator. 7, 6, 5, more and more relaxed. 4, 3, 2, and 1. The elevator door opens up, and go ahead and locate that door that you were just behind, and go ahead and step inside, and let's go back to the laboratory. Let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
Good. Now, tell me what's going on.
Some kind of experimenting.
Okay. How did you get into this laboratory?
I don't know. I think it was through the pill.
Okay. Well, I'd like you to go back in time to moments when you were given the pill. How were you given this pill? Or what happened?
Some female.
Okay. And where were you?
I was in my room.
Okay, so, alright. And I want you to describe this female. What does she look like?
She has brown hair, very short.
What kind of... Okay.
Military pants.
Okay, she had like camo pants on?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you happen to see a name on her uniform?
Yeah, it started with a K. She only has a K, and she has a tattoo.
And
with the letter K on it.
Okay. Alright, so she gives you this pill, and do you take it without questioning it, or what happens?
I felt like I was being mind manipulated.
Okay, and how were they doing that to you?
I don't know if it was done by remote viewing or something.
Okay. And, so you take this pill, do you say anything?
I took it, and then I lost track of time.
Okay, and go ahead and fast forward in the timeline to the next event, and what happens?
For some reason, they wanted to steal my sexual energies.
Okay, and how were they doing that?
She was trying to seduce me.
Okay, was this when you were blacked out?
Yes.
Okay, so were you unconscious when she was seducing you?
Unconscious.
You were?
I wasn't conscious. It's like I was, but I wasn't.
Okay, so you were like in a zombie state?
Yeah.
Alright. And so what, does she make sexual advances on you?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you do?
My body couldn't move.
Okay.
It was numb.
Do you happen to know why she was... Oh, because she wanted to harvest your sexual energy?
Yes.
And do you know why they would want to harness it?
Other experiments.
And what experiment is that?
They were doing some kind of testing, alien testing or something.
And what is your connection to alien testing?
I think they were making half-breeds or something.
The government is?
Yeah.
And why would the government be interested in creating hybrids?
I think it's for their Black Ops operation.
Okay. Okay. So this I'm assuming this military officer, and you have sex? Is that basically what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you recall her saying anything to you?
I know she said some things, but I couldn't remember what she was saying.
Okay. Can you go forward in the timeline and just go back in time and just view it using quantum entanglement? As if you...
She told me to take a chip or something.
Okay.
And insert it in my neck.
Okay, and how do they insert this chip?
I had to cut it open.
Cut what open?
My throat.
Okay. Do you happen to have any cut marks presently there?
No.
And why not?
Somehow they covered it up with some kind of laser.
Okay. What happens next?
I had shortness of breath. I couldn't breathe.
Okay, you couldn't breathe. And why was that?
Because I could feel the chip.
What was this chip doing to you?
For some reason, it was drying up my throat.
Does it do more than just give you dry mouth?
I started having, for some reason today, dehydration.
Do you happen to know what this chip's function is? Its primary function?
As in what, like?
What is its main purpose?
I guess it was to access information.
And why don't you take a look to see what information they were interested in particular?
Something to do with my body chemistry and my DNA. That's some kind of information about the half-breed.
Alright, so let's go forward a little bit. And what is the next memory you have in this facility, or wherever you will happen to be?
It's a door that has a triangle on it.
Where's the triangle located around the door? What direction?
Located in the center.
Okay, what is the doorway shaped like a triangle?
Yeah.
Do you happen to have it? What's that?
It says it's restricted.
Why don't you just go take a peek? Go step through that doorway and tell me what you see.
Look, there's a barcode on it.
Okay, so the door is closed?
Yeah, take some kind of card.
Well, go ahead and phase through the door.
Okay.
Step through it. Kind of like walking through a waterfall. And go to the other side and tell me what you see.
Feel some kind of laboratory with different samples of DNA and all kinds of different things.
Do you happen to have an idea of where you might be located? Is it, what part of the planet, perhaps?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Do you happen to know the name of this facility?
It's called Startron something.
Okay, Startron.
It's a big ship.
Oh, it's a ship.
It's been abandoned for years.
What is the military doing on the ship?
They're collecting, I don't know, they're collecting things.
Do you feel
things that have been left on the ship.
So go back into the room that's restricted and tell me what your connection is with this room.
I get deja vu in this room.
You been here before?
Yeah.
How many times?
I think I've been inducted here several times before the ship crashed and been abandoned.
Are you able to hear anything about them talking about you at all?
Yeah, I see a man and a woman talking together.
All right. Well, why don't you just go step a little bit closer and listen in. Tell me what you hear.
For some reason, they're talking about my family.
Okay. And what are they saying about your family?
And you need more information, like specimens and different things like that.
Is there anything else about this area or that we need to investigate?
There's a lot of rooms.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and find a room that you feel can give you some clues about what's going on with you.
Okay. There's an upstairs.
Well,
I'm walking upstairs.
all right. And what do you see?
It's like a little girl.
And what does she want? Or what's happening to her?
And she's lost her family on the ship or something.
Okay. Do you see any other extraterrestrial creatures?
I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
So it's primarily, well, I shouldn't say primary, it's only humans?
Right now, I do see a lot of specimens.
Okay. Can you talk to this girl and ask her what she's doing there? Or how did she get there?
Said she was hiding. She said that the ship was attacked.
By who?
I don't know if this sounds right, but she said they were attacked by the Andromedans.
Can you ask her why the Andromedans would attack?
She said they stole one of their ships or something.
Alright.
And they were conducting experiments, government experiments,
Okay, so
on that ship. And it was abandoned.
I see. So the government stole one of the Andromedan ships.
Yeah.
And is that what this ship is right now? Abandoned Andromedan ship?
She's saying it was Andromeda and Pleiadian.
And so why don't they just go in there and reclaim it?
Because it was abandoned for some reason.
Okay.
It was restricted.
Alright. Is there anything that you can do to this ship to disable it?
No.
Can you ask this girl what you could do to be of assistance?
She said if I could find what operates the ship, then it can be fixed.
Okay, so she wants you to help fix this ship?
She wants me to help her find her family.
Okay.
It's been taken.
How long has she been on this ship?
She said she doesn't know. She hasn't kept track of time. She doesn't know the time.
Okay. Can you tell her what year and month it is? Does she know?
She says she understands what I'm saying, but she doesn't understand the time.
Well, is there anything else you need to investigate nearby, or perhaps with this girl?
She said she had a brother, and they were doing experiments on him.
Okay, and what kind of experiments?
Animal experiments, she's saying.
What kind?
Some kind of animal experiment.
Alright. Okay.
They're not really animals, they're like terrestrial.
Is there anything else that you would like to investigate?
I'd like to find out what they're doing here, what kind of experiment.
Okay, well, let's go look into that. And tell me what you see.
It's like they're experimenting on humans for the Super Soldier Project.
Okay. And what is your connection to this?
Has something to do with you.
And what is that?
They want information from you.
Why don't they just abduct me and leave you alone?
Because they're trying to get through to me to get to you.
Oh, I see. So they're are they trying to basically, are you saying they're brainwashing you?
Yeah.
And how are they planning on using you to get to me?
Trying to get information.
What kind of information? Can't they just listen into our phone conversations?
said it would be too easy.
Who said?
The girl.
Okay, so our phone conversations are being somehow it's being blocked from them listening in?
Yes.
What?
And it's because the Andromedans would listen. They would know what was going on.
I see. All right. And what about now? Are they successful? Are they going to be successful?
No, because the Andromedans are moving closer.
I see. Okay. All right. Is there any other information that you need to look into while you're still here?
The owner of the ship was some other alien race.
The ship was owned by another alien race?
Called the Stargazers.
Stargazers?
Stargazers.
Okay. And what is your connection with this race?
Somehow they were giving me the information.
What information?
How to stop the experiments.
Okay, so go. Why don't you go ahead and ask them? Go ahead and make a telepathic link with these stargazers, and ask them what can be done for other milabs and monarchs to stop the experiments.
They're saying it has something to do with a certain kind of DNA that we all need to produce in our bodies to stop the abductions.
Okay, and how do we get access to this DNA?
Well, it's interesting because my dad was just talking about that and on how to stop them. And they're giving out information according to the stargazers.
Are you able to see diagrams of what this DNA looks like?
Yeah, it's a triangle with a cross.
And where is the cross located within the triangle?
In the center.
Okay, and what does this symbol mean?
It has something to do with the Jews.
The Jews?
Mm-hmm.
And what about the Jews?
There was some kind of an alien experiment going on back then.
Okay, and can you elaborate a little bit more?
I don't know, I just see them carving in their head the symbol.
I see.
It has something to do with the Jews and the Mayans. I don't know.
Alright, and how can we use this symbol to help us?
They'll stop the experiments.
And how do we use the symbol?
I think it has to be programmed in our DNA.
How do we program it into our DNA?
They said they're not ready to give out the information yet for some reason.
Okay, well, thank them for their time. And is there anything else that's relevant that you can look into?
You mean with the experiments?
Yes.
Well, I think they're trying to drug me to activate those DNAs.
Okay, so why would they want to activate this DNA?
I guess to make more super soldiers.
I thought you said that if we activate the DNA, we could stop the milabs.
We can with that symbol.
Okay, so the DNA that they're trying to activate is not the same DNA that we need to activate.
Right.
Okay. So are they trying to use you, perhaps, as a super soldier?
I think so.
Are you able to... Well, actually, what I'd like you to do is to go back in time and just scan and just give me a few pictures and images of what you see, how you are being used.
Well, I know what the feeling is like now to be mind manipulated.
All right.
Your brain feels empty.
Okay.
You have no conscience.
Okay. Do you happen to know how they manipulate your mind?
They try to erase your memories.
How do they erase your memories?
They use certain lights.
Lights?
Certain drugs.
Drugs, okay. Okay, what I'd like you to do is to go back to your body, not in present, but on the ship. Go back to that room where you're basically in a zombified state.
Okay.
Okay, what I'd like you to do is to inject a drug, an antidote for the drug they just gave you.
Okay.
Alright. And this drug is going to neutralize the effects of any of the drugs they've given you. So go ahead and let that kick in a little bit.
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do is I want you to take your palm chakras, your palms, and I want you to visualize electric energy coming out of your palm chakras. And I want you to place your hand over the neck where that implant was put, and I want you to fry it with electricity, but not damage any human tissue, just the implant.
I feel energy coming out of my hand.
Good. So go ahead and take a moment there and fry that implant.
Okay. Done.
Good. Is there? Can you scan the body and tell me, is there any other areas that we need to work on, or are we good?
It's like the chest area because I've been feeling pain there.
Okay. Can you? Well, like you do is to scan the chest area and tell me what you see psychically that's causing pain.
It's like a chip.
Okay, so go ahead and fry that chip as well. Your hands.
Okay. Okay, that one's gone.
Wonderful. Okay. So do you see any change in effect?
I feel more centered.
Well, what about the your version of yourself that's in a zombified state?
That might need healing too.
Is he still zombified?
Yes.
All right. What I'd like you to do is to give him a drug to neutralize the effects of the zombified state.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not sure what they did to him, so just go ahead and negate that, and let me know when he's starting to come conscious.
Okay. I'm coming out of it now.
Wonderful. Okay, and I want you to whisper into his ears that he's going to remember everything.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
So what's happening next?
Interesting. His brain is going through different memories.
Okay. And how about you? Do you feel a change in effect? Hello? 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 Oh, great. We just lost the connection. Okay. I guess we did what needed to get done here. So I just lost the phone connection. Okay, so basically what just happened is Adrian turned off the phone because he heard somebody on the other line, the government, listening in. But he told me that he was able to get some information. Well, he knew memories. He said that they were trying to extract information on what happened to Nathan. And if you don't know who Nathan is basically somebody I knew about 7 years ago, and I helped deprogram him, and he went rogue, and he basically went insane. They programmed him to kill, and then basically his killing program got activated and caused a lot of problems. So Adrian tells me that they basically drugged Nathan really bad. They do that to all of us, but to him it got to the point where he didn't even know himself anymore. And so he turned into a mental case. They did this for years. I guess it just he cracked, and so I have a video here I'd like to share. This is from a movie called Scanner Cop, I believe. Maybe it's not a movie, but it's a little short video clip. And this is kind of what Nathan was going through at the final moments before they, I guess I've been told that he's been since contained, and now he's on the dark side of the moon in a prison complex. So, anyhow, here it goes.
Samuel? You need to take your pills, son. I haven't had any in 4 days. You can't do that. You know that, Samuel. You know that, son.
I took my last one this morning, Dad. They're all gone.
No, every day, son. If you don't, look at me. It'll be the end, Samuel. You can't go back. Oh, but don't you worry. Don't you worry, son. I'm gonna find some money. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find some money. I'm gonna get you some pills. Don't you worry. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find some money. Buy pills.
Where's the TV guy? Come back. I want that. Come on, have something. Have a sound.
isn't happening.
Dad?
Guy's going crazy in there. He hasn't come out of that room for a week now. Got a kid in there, too. Yeah. He's 2 months behind on his rent. I want him the hell out of here. All right.
Dad, what are you doing?
Can't you see them, Samuel? They're trying to destroy me. But I won't let that happen.
See what, Dad?
Can't you see them?
This the one?
Yeah, give me the kid.
Right over there, sir.
All right. Police, open up! Get out of here and leave us alone! They're here, Samuel. They're gonna take us away.
Dad,
No, it's too late, son. It's too late. You get out of here, I'll throw you out.
Just take it easy, mister. Drop the razor. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Easy. Come here, son.
No! Holy shit. I told you to leave us alone. Samuel, I'm sorry. Son, don't do it! Come with me.
That's right, he's up there now.
I'm all finished, sir.
How you feeling?
I'll be okay.
Still hasn't said a word. I won't have to take him to Chatsworth.
Psychiatric?
Now, you saw what they did.
I'm not sure what I saw. How are we gonna write this up in a report?
I'll take care of it. Just go on home, call it a night, all right?
Thanks, Sarge.
Got any relatives or friends I could call? You hungry?
He looks like he hasn't eaten for days.
Probably hasn't.
What's his name?
Samuel. He saved my life.
Sleep tight. Oh, he's adorable.
Now, don't get too attached to him, Margaret. I have to take him to Chatsworth tomorrow.
Chatsworth? Why Chatsworth?
I told you, he's not like other boys.
How so?
I'm not sure, but whatever it is, drove his father insane.
He looks like a normal little boy to me.
I'll be right in. Try to get some sleep, son.